Hello folks, welcome back to my channel, Gen X Stamps. My name is Joel, and we're going to be diving into part 3 of the first box. Stuff like this. So. Okay, so I took all of the remaining stamps in box 1 and put them in the cover of the box so I don't have to drag that big box around anymore. So here is what's left. The other stuff we looked at before, well, some of those envelopes I will go through and maybe I'll film those parts, but this is pretty much what's left in the bottom of box 1. And what I'm going to do is put it off to the side and I will just pull things from it. And I'll try to sort through stuff because there's loose stuff, there's stuff in envelopes, there's stuff in glassine envelopes. There's just a whole mass of stuff here. And it's all mint. Most of it never hinged, I would assume. I mean, it's when I bought the lot, it mainly said that it was never hinged material for the most part, which is true. But anyway, we'll get started with some of this. Alright, let's see what's in this envelope here. Now I'm going to try and not use my hands, but it's hard with all of this material. Okay, so what we've got here is some of the Washington set from the 1930s. That is a plate block. Yay. And we have a Department of State, 24 cents. But we'll set that aside. Alright, so we've got 4H, Women in the Armed Services. Cadillac at Detroit. There's Civil War veterans, a few of those. Here we go. I mean, there's just so many different things here. 4H, 4H. Alright, put these back inside of here. Okay. And now I'll put this back in there. This I'll set aside. Okay. Now here is a packet. It's got assorted stuff in it. That's one of the Credo. Looks like they're all, there's a lot of duplication here. I mean, there is a lot. They all look like they're mint, never hinged. I used to sell on eBay a lot, and it does make good postage. Okay. So, we'll just kind of thumb through these. That's a good one. Oh, anyway, that's definitely older. That's 1939, I think. I'm not going to just stop and talk about every single one of these. I'm just going to show you what's there. That's decent. Baseball and football. Daniel Webster. There's Leif Erikson. Arkansas River Navigation. There is Daniel Boone. Here's another loose stamp. Wow, that's a $5 official mail. And I would say, yeah, original gum. Jeez. Alright, well that's going over in the loose pile. Now here's a bunch inside of here. I don't know why some are separated. Maybe they're all the same. Or maybe they're from the same year. I don't know. Okay, these feel a little funky. Yeah, that's stuck. So far everything has been pretty clean and not stuck. But these are stuck. Which is okay, they can certainly be used for postage. And there are ways of getting the stuck ones off. Some will peel. That's a shame. I hate seeing them stuck, but yeah, it is what it is. It's not like they're anything extreme in rarity or value. And I'm into stamp collecting for the passion of it. It's not for the value, but the value is a bonus. I have a nice collection and I've built it over the past 30 to 40 years. And it's relatively worth something. But alright, here we go. Basketball. I've got football, baseball, basketball. Arctic explorations. There's some loose stamps. Nursing. Here is a set of the national parks. Those are decent. Oh, here we have some special delivery. Now these might be good. Yeah, these will not be used for postage. Oh, those are nice. I love back of book stuff. Alright, let's set the loose ones aside. There's just so many to go through here. I'm gonna pick up the speed. Now here is some airmail. That's good. There's some airmail there. Put those separate. Those are decent. I do like my airmail stamps. Those can go in there. Oh, that's a good one. There's a 3 together, and that's the 10-cent Lindbergh airmail stamp. That's cool. I always love these airplane stamps. They don't have huge book value, but they're nice stamps. Oh, and there's some more special delivery. That's excellent. I'll try to show off the better stuff. Yeah, that's decent. That's really good. I'm not really a collector of blocks or plate blocks. I have an awful lot of them, and now I have a heck of a lot more. I don't really collect sheets of stamps either, but I've got a bunch of them from this lot. There is the United States in space. That's a good one. Or rather, I like it. There's bicentennial. What do we got in here? Holy smokes! That's a Confederate. Is that real? Let's see here. What do you guys think? Try to focus in on this. Pretty awesome. That's really awesome. That's sweet. It's unused. I think it's real. I've had the facsimile ones before. I didn't expect to see that in here. And there is some 10-cent Franklins, a whole bunch of them. They are used, unfortunately. But anyway. Those can go separate. Get some extra envelopes. Here we go. Oops, that's got a plate block, or a plate number. But there's just 2 of them. That's okay. Yeah, let's put it back in there. I always like these. Plant for more beautiful streets, highways, parks, and cities. Okay, and here are some loose ones. I'm going to those are loose airmail. Nursing, nursing, nursing. Here's a bunch. I guess they're all the same. Yeah, those are all the same. Bicentennial. Ooh, here's 6. Mail early in the day. No plate block, but that's Hamilton. Rural America. I always like these stamps here. Let's get the ship. That's a U.S. Merchant Marine. There's a Washington plate block. And here we go. We've got some more airmail blocks. Good. There's Edison. Okay. Oh, here's a loose one. That we will put over here. A lot of stuff. Int file. All right. So in the mint file, we've got back-to-back plate blocks. All kinds of plate blocks. Nothing too amazing, but I like them. One of my favorite poets, Robert Frost. Here's another mint block file. All right. I wonder if that came out of that sheet that had the ones that were off-center or kind of misperfed. I don't know, it looks okay, but I will set that aside. There's a few blocks in there. Sam Rayburn. Another Edison. All kinds of stuff. Okay, so we've got a pile here. More Edison. Johnny Appleseed. Or John Muir. Davy Crockett. I have a first day cover of Davy Crockett, and it's signed by the guy that used to play it in the TV show. Parker was his name. Parker. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Fess Parker was his name. There's a lot of them here. I love stamps, but boy, this is quite a lot of sorting I'm gonna have to do. Figure out what I'm gonna do with all this stuff. Hey, if you stick with me, maybe I'll start doing some giveaways. Oh, this has got some stuff in it. First of all, we'll do this one. This is the International Philatelic Exhibition from 1966. There's a whole stack of them. They're they're not stuck to each other, which is good, but they're kind of a little warped, but still. And here we have a bunch of stuff in a little envelope. That's all 20-cent officials. $0.17 block. There's another Washington. Here's some loose stuff. There's a $1 loose official. There's some Airmail. There's another block of official. Lots of Airmail. We'll throw in some of these other blocks that have been kicking around. huh? Okay. Here we go, another stack. That's a bigger stack. Here's some cards. Oops, there's a stamp. Oh, nice. Used. That's a big stack. I wonder if these are all... Oh, these look different in here. A big stack of them. Oh, a bunch in here. That's good. Some larger blocks. Here's another stack. I would assume it's probably all that era. I'd like to go through every single thing here, but I don't want to bore you guys to death. I probably already have. That's a decent block. I always like that set. Good. And a lot of these have multiples in them, so it isn't just one single. There's 3 or 4 in some of these. That's a good one. That's one of the Parks ones. It's a six block. Most everything is plate blocks. There are a few things that aren't, but that's okay. Oh, here's a bunch of loose ones. Another decent one. That's a decent one. Wait, those are all loose. Keep those separate. That one is an Airmail. That's a decent one. Some more of the same. Got Churchill. Well, all I can say is there's definitely a complete set of stamps from like the 1950s on for sure. Definitely 60s and 70s. Everything's here. Seems like. These can be set off to the side. Bunch inside of this envelope. Let's see what we got. There is a loose Washington. Kind of dinged up a bit, but multiples. There's a few in here. All about the same era. Nice Airmail. Those are good. I like those. Washington set. Oh, here's some presidential set from '38. That's good. There's another from that set. here's a bunch of blocks. Postage due. Wonder if we got the $5 one in here. Got the $1. I'm just curious, because $5 one, you know, even though you can't use it as postage, technically. I know I shouldn't be touching these with my hands, but this is hard to do. I'm just curious. No, no $5, but there was a $1 and 50 cents, so that's pretty good. Another loose one. Oh, that's a $5 official. 4 of them. There's $20 right there. Ah, so we'll put that off to the side. This is nice right here. I didn't expect there to be good stuff in this lot like this. That's a nice little booklet pane. Washington. Probably 1920 or before. Probably closer to 1917 or 1915 or something like that. That's a good one. Yay. That one. Yeah, those are all plate blocks, I guess. There's a big stack in that one. There's a stack in there. Another stack in there. There's another mint book. Nothing too amazing. And some more of that 3-cent stamp. Another presidential set. That one, that's just a block though, it's not a plate block, but that's a pretty good one. I don't know, stuff that's in there, it's just basic Francis Parkman. That's a good one. Stack in there. Those are 1950. That's Parks. Christmas. Probably noticed there are definitely some duplicates here. WC handy. Christmas 1963. Scarce plate? No, it's probably not talking about what's in there. Sometimes they reuse envelopes, I do. There's some loose ones. Oh, there's a Maine statehood. That's my state. There's some loose Parks issue again. And here are some official stamps. Those we'll put over there. Okay. There's a stack in there. Another presidential one, that's good. Here's some loose stuff. Decent. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. There's a whole stack in there. There's an Airmail. That's a good one. We always like those. Lucy Stone, 50 cents. That's decent for a newer block. There's a stack. Audubon, Boston Tea Party. Block of 4, margin block of floor. Oh, maybe it's got something special about it, I guess. I don't know. There we go. That's a good block of 6, even though it's not a plate block. Okay. 2 center. 2 of them. Alright. Another plate block book. Eleanor Roosevelt. JFK. Nevada statehood, register to vote. Shakespeare, Mayo, homemakers. Okay. Walt Disney. Another mint block file. This has got those flag, international flags. There's all kinds of them in here. Overrun countries, I should say. Iwo Jima. They say they took 2 pictures. The first picture they took, some of the men didn't even survive after that. And then they took a second picture, or something to that effect. Oops. This has been quite a lot. Yeah, those are decent. There's a bunch of these in here. Can't say they're complete from 1950 on, but there's definitely stacks of them. There's like a whole bunch in here, and a bunch in there, and a bunch in there. Bunch in there. Alright, we're almost done. Stack in there. Big stack in there. Well, there we have it. That is the end of... Thank you folks for watching. I know it was a long one. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. The next couple installments will be shorter. It's going to be more albums. So, still 2 more boxes, but I think it might go a little quicker. So, please like and subscribe. Stick with me. I have a humongous collection. So, in the future, I might be giving away free stamps to people, maybe doing some trades. We'll see. So, thanks again for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.